The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
Well, here we are on a Friday morning. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jesup, 105.5 on your FM dial, Big Dog Country Radio. Butch Everett here with you, along with Bob Morgan, this Friday morning, the 12th day of July. And the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Murphy Builder Supply, located on Northeast Broad Street in downtown Jesup, just down from the Big Red Caboose. And also brought to you by Nips Car Wash, located on Highway 301 South here in Jesup, just past McDonald's on the left-hand side. And good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
How you using?
I'm good. Ready for the weekend.
You got Bolton plans this weekend?
Got to head down and see Dad.
You going to go down and see Dad?
Got to get some things done there. So
Okay.
football season right around the corner. So
I know. What do you got there? You're just moving it around? You got a blue piece of paper there with black markings on it?
No, just reminding people about the event at Odom. You know, they came in. Robin came in this couple of days ago to remind everybody about their first annual Odom Homecoming Flea Market, junior flea market for the kids. So again, taking place tomorrow from 8 to 3. Just want to remind people about that tomorrow, 8 to 3 at the Odom Depot. All types of things will be on sale. Arts and crafts, yard sale items, fresh produce, baked goods, lemonade, furniture, all types of events. So get a chance to go out and support the kids in Odom. That's tomorrow from 8 to 3 o'clock at the Odom Depot.
8 to 3 in Odom tomorrow, and it's a way for these kids to raise funds for themselves.
Some cash for school.
That's right. Of course, you know, probably most of the items were given to them by their parents, but of course they probably have some old toys and things of that sort they'd like to be able to sell, and other items, electronic things. You just never can tell what them kids are going to sell all the way up to age 18.
It just seems like a good idea.
It is a good idea to help raise kids have sometimes a difficult time making money, and it's a good way of doing it.
Everybody knows how popular yard sales are, so here's kids out there with their items to just make some cash so they can get some school supplies, things like that. So just want to remind everybody about that big event tomorrow in Odom, 8 to 3, so get a chance to stop by.
Okay, at the Odom Depot tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Big yard sale going on, and it's being put on by the youth here in Wayne County, all the way ages up to 18. All right, sounds good. Great idea. I don't know who came up with it down there in Odom, but it was a good idea.
Also, they still have that raffle as well. They'll be selling tickets there. That'll be the drawing will be on Odom Day.
The first Saturday in October. So they're selling tickets now.
So there's like 3 different guns. I think the tickets are $10 each. So if you want to buy a chance for a gun, and again, they got the guns descriptions on their website and also at City Hall. So, but if you need more information, just call City Hall at 586-2211 and stop by this yard sale, and you can buy a ticket for the raffle.
Well, good. I like that Braves cap. It's a little bit different, It's got the light blue with the dark blue in there.
This is what they wore on Father's Day. I was watching the game. I mentioned that I liked the color. It was a different blue. One of my listeners was listening and said, heard I wanted one, and they were nice enough to bring me one back.
They brought you one back.
How nice was that?
That is a nice-looking Braves cap. It's a little bit different. Got the black A on the front, but it's a light blue with a dark blue kind of blended in with it. Looks a little different. Looks sharp.
I do appreciate it.
Okay, and you got your Jekyll Island shirt on, too.
I picked that up.
I got me one. I got me a Jekyll Island shirt. I love Jekyll Island. The reason why I don't like the fact the doggone price has gone up to $8 to get in now, but to go across the causeway there. But
it wasn't stopping people from not going. I could probably there.
Oh no!
I went last Friday.
What's $2 more?
Took a long time to get on that island. It's a beautiful place. Unfortunately, it rained that day on Friday. I got there about 11, and from 11 to 1 it was good, and about 1:30 it just poured down.
Opened up.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful place over there. I love Jekyll Island.
I'm reading a book right now. I don't know if you remember that one of the clubs here in town had an author come into town and was out there at the Pine Forest Country Club, and she had sold many different type of books through the years. And one of the current ones she has is on a historic look, kind of a fiction, it's factual, but there's colorful words and scenarios added in there with it. And it's about the life and times of the Jekyll Island Club, about when it started way back in about 1878, 9, somewhere along in there. and going, some of the original members and and it's seen through the staff there and some of the, like the club manager or the captain of the boats that brought folks back and forth over from Brunswick. Of course, they didn't have a bridge or causeway back then, and different other folks that were in leadership positions there on the island. And it talks about their interactions with J.P. Morgan and Pulitzer and Vanderbilts and the Rockefellers and all these folks there, where this was a summer retreat. This was the most exclusive club in the world to get in. From the late 1878 nines when they started, somewhere along in there. They bought the island from a guy, and so they made this Millionaires Club, and it became the most exclusive club from the late 1800s all the way up until World War II. And then after that, they decided to sell it and it went to the state, and the state's run it ever since after World War II. But some of the wealthiest people in the country, from Chicago to New York to all over, were members there. And you just didn't go up there and just pay dues. It's kind of like trying to become a member at Augusta National. You have to be approved by the board. Doesn't matter how much money you got. But it's a very interesting book. I've always enjoyed the history of Jekyll. I love going over there to the historic district and going to the big hotel there and enjoying the ice cream shop there and all the shops, and then going down to the wharf down there. They have bands playing at late afternoon and evenings during the summertime, and you just meet people from all over the place when you're there at the historic district. Then, of course, I like the beaches there at Jekyll, because they're not. You could go all the way down the south end down there. It's not near as crowded as it is over on St. Simon's.
And the fact that they redid that convention center has really helped tremendously. So just a beautiful building.
In that village kind of area through there, that kind of a downtown area there next to the big convention center and hotel and all that, you've got all those shops through there. And of course, the Jekyll Island Club also has a beach front hotel now, in addition to the historic hotel. And it is just a gem. I mean, we don't realize it because it's just an hour away. But people from all over the world come to Jekyll Island to be able to spend time there at the Jekyll Island Club, the historic district, the beach, and other amenities they have there. Then, of course, if you just want to go over there and take your camper or tent and go to the campground, you can do that too. So no matter what your budget is, you can afford it there on Jekyll Island. And I just love going over there. It's just a very nice place.
Right, beautiful place.
Yeah, love Jekyll. Now, see, when I was growing up here, when I say growing up, I didn't move here until I was 14 years old, freshman in high school in 1968. That was where our youth group at First Methodist went. People really didn't go over to St. Simon's, per se, to go to the beach. They went to Jekyll. Of course, it didn't cost anything to get on there. So our youth groups, that's where we made our beach trips. And, of course, back then, the north part of the island was not eroded. You had a huge area there with picnic tables and shade and beach that went out forever, and all that eroded away in the through the years. And now that entire beachfront area there with the park and all that, it's all gone. It's not there anymore. It's would be basically where the southern end of Driftwood Beach would be, and where a lot of weddings are held now. The south end is doing good with the beach, but that north end has eroded through the years for various reasons. But just love Jekyll, and sometimes you just don't realize what you got in your backyard. It's kind of like Savannah. If you go there in Savannah and really enjoy the amenities over there, you'll see why people from all over the world come to Savannah. It's one of the top tourist destinations in the country.
Speaking of weddings, I'm looking forward to next weekend's wedding in Athens. Grayson Lambert and Adeline Kennerly get married at the chapel.
They are? Say that again now?
Grayson Lambert and Adeline Kennerly tie the knot in Athens next Saturday. So I've been invited to that wedding. Can't wait.
In Athens?
In Athens. Well, they're both up in law school.
Oh, they're in law school?
Yeah.
They're going to become attorneys, huh?
Yeah, both are going to be lawyers. So,
well, bless their pea-picking hearts.
That's weddings next Saturday in Athens. So
okay.
It gives me a chance to go to the wedding and headed to Atlanta to see the
getting married
Braves.
at a church up there?
get married at the chapel.
At the chapel.
Where they ring the bell.
With the ring the bell, they're getting married at the chapel there. All right. Right there in the historic area of UGA.
Yeah. Can't wait.
Oh, that's beautiful fun. Right there, isn't it? Yeah. That store, that first part of it, that is just a gorgeous area from the library all the way to downtown. Is just amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Right. Looking forward to that.
Well, after that, I wish them the best.
After that, I'm going to get to go see the Braves and the Nationals. So it's going to be a good weekend next weekend. So should be fun.
Someone just sent in here. You know, the other day I was given on Tuesday morning. On Tuesday morning, I was talking about how last Wednesday a week ago, lightning hit the front. Well, added in the station. It hit out front out there because I was sitting in my office. Hit the light pole out there somewhere out there, and lightning came in and did the Watusi all the way through the Comcast equipment here, which Comcast provides us with our phones and with our internet. You know, we don't have TV or anything that would do it. It's just business. It's through Comcast Business, and so from Wednesday a week ago until Wednesday. Let's see, what'd you say? I was on the air Tuesday, and that's when I gave Comcast a hard time. So Wednesday, so for a week, we were out, no phones, no internet. Now, can you imagine a business trying to operate? I wanted to give somebody at Comcast headquarters a call and say, how would y'all like to be to run a business without phones and internet? So someone just texting, and of course I was remember when I was saying Comcast, for probably at least 30 times during the course of that conversation. And someone just texted in, is the Comcast back on yet? LOL, LOL, LOL. Yeah, it's been back on since Wednesday. You know, I did the Rat and Raven on Tuesday. They were out here Wednesday.
It works.
It's fixed. It's working. And so I just, I've mentioned on the air, I've been in the business for 40 years now, and never have I gone a week without a utility, whether it was power, a phone, or internet. It's usually done within a couple of days because the companies, whoever it is, knows the importance of getting radio and TV stations back on the air as a federal licensed communications medium. But the technician who basically works Jesup came in and did his thing. And so we've had the phone system and the internet. But, you know, imagine an entire week, a business running an entire week without phone or internet. It's just mind-blowing. So I finally had enough of it. I came on the air Tuesday morning. I got tired of the excuses they were giving my son Matt, who was working on it. One of the things I want to say right now is we have two people who won these 4-ticket vouchers to Wild Adventures Park to use this week. And, of course, that means today, tomorrow, Sunday. Sally Dumas and Steve Marino. Now, if Sally Dumas and Steve Marino do not pick up their certificates here at the radio station by 12 noon today, we are going to give them away. If you call after 1 p.m., if you call the radio station after 1 o'clock this afternoon, so we'll give them up to 1, just in case there's lunch. But if Sally Dumas and Steve Marino do not come by and pick up their certificates here at the radio station or call us and let us know something about it, by 1 o'clock, we are going to give those away. So right after 1 o'clock, folks, if you'd like to win 4 free passes to Wild Adventures Park, perhaps maybe one or both of these certificates will still be available. These are way too valuable to sit up on the desk and go away because, you know, a pass into Wild Adventures Park now is what, $40, $45, somewhere along in there. And this is for 4. Each one of these certificates are for 4 people to go. So you're talking about $160 value or something like that. And so we're still going to give them the opportunity. I did mention this yesterday morning, and we did not hear from Sally Dumas or Steve Marino, but they did win them earlier, a couple of days ago. And so they need to give us a call after 9 o'clock and say, yeah, I'm coming in before 1. If not, we're going to give these away to whoever calls first right after 1 o'clock. And so just, you know, we had somebody call yesterday wanting to know if we had any more to give away for this week, and I said no. And I said, but, you know, keep tuned in tomorrow morning because we may give some away that have not been picked up yet. And we do appreciate people who do win certificates and then give us a call and say, Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not going to be able to go and give those away to somebody else. We have so many people, though, that win certificates that don't call us up, and they just sit there. So I'm not going to let these two 4-ticket vouchers go away and just sit on the desk, and because they're good through Sunday only. And they got La Fiesta going on this weekend, Bob, on Friday and Saturday with all the Hispanic and Latino and all that kind of good stuff going on at Wild Adventures with entertainment, the Hispanic and Latin culture, with the foods and entertainment, comedian and singers and all kinds of good stuff. And, of course, all the regular stuff that goes on at Wild Adventures. So, right after 1 o'clock, folks, if Steve Marino and Sally Dumas do not claim their tickets, we'll give them away to the first callers that call the station. All right, Bob, I know we got an interview that you did with Ed Jeffords.
It's not an interview. It's
not interview, but his talk there at the county commission meeting.
He gave a 10 minutes. He addressed the commissioner for 10 minutes. Due to time restraints, local news can't get all in at one time. I think we played like 4 or 5 minutes of it, but we have the entire speech here. So just thought, as promised, we'd play it and let everybody hear the entire 10-minute address that he had.
Okay, now let's set the scene here. This was the last county
Monday night, the county commissioners met, and a motion was made by Commissioner Kevin McCreary, seconded by Ralph Hickox, to reprimand Ed Jeffords for what they see as infractions regarding the county budget. After the commissioners all got their chance to do their items with the commissioners, then it was items with the administrator. Ed Jeffords got up from his seat behind the podium, came to the podium that's set up in front of the commissioners, as most people address the commissioners from that podium.
So he was talking directly to the commissioners, the Wayne County commissioners.
Right, and made this 10-minute speech to them regarding his position, how he feels about the entire situation.
Okay, so this is Wayne County Administrator Ed Jeffords speaking to the Wayne County Commission on Monday night. Okay, right. Here it is.
After being unanimously selected by the Board of Commissioners, although I was informed and understood that the county was in financial difficulties before I accepted the position, I soon found out that the magnitude was far worse than what I was initially led to believe. Almost as soon as I started, I was able to conclude that the county was headed for insolvency by late spring or early summer unless drastic steps were taken. Over my tenure as county administrator, I've questioned many times whether I had the desire or the strength to help lead the efforts to turn around this county's financial conditions. I understood what it would take while still providing the services required and expected of the county. I knew the hour of the community was coming. I also knew that efforts to change the direction of the organization would be an enormous and time-consuming undertaking. I knew many of my relationships and friendships would be challenged. And sadly, I also knew some of my family relationships would also be strained. What I didn't expect was the admiration and respect that I had for a few individuals would be challenged beyond my belief during this process. But I knew that I had to try to meet my obligations, responsibilities, and commitments I gave the Board of Commissioners, the county employees, and the citizens of this county. So I did not quit on you nor them. From the beginning, I knew if we were going to be successful in keeping the county out of receivership, that it would be because of county employees. I knew that if we were unsuccessful, that burden would largely sit on my shoulders. So I immediately actively engaged all aspects of the county operation to educate, to coach, to guide, to support, and to challenge everyone in improving their effectiveness and efficiency in providing county services. My focus was solely on providing the necessary and expected services. This engagement has brought many challenges and difficult decisions, but has also brought in needed changes and improvements, of which many will take time to realize. But most important change that has been has been the awareness the employees now have of the county's financial condition, which was glaringly lacking. There's much more to be done to ensure the county has a stable future, financial future. But it will take collaboration from all to secure this. As your county administrator, I have tried to communicate the condition of the county to the Board of Commissioners on a regular basis. Starting with the increase in 2018 tax anticipation note, continuing with the 2018 budget approval. This budget was presented in December of 2017 to the board with a letter that stated that revenues were short of expenses by well over $2 million. And that in my estimation, it had a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. Further, it also stated that healthcare claims would largely be an unpredictable variable. I also indicated that there are several other unknown variables. I also stated that any further cuts would require significant reduction in personnel, which would mean services. The communication continued with monthly budget reports given to each commissioner. Extensive communication was given at the June retreat about the financial condition, the operational and organizational deficiencies, and what was needed to address many of these deficiencies. Project statuses, an overview of how the county got to this condition, and a plan to change the course of the county's financial condition. I wrote and presented a State of the County report in February of 2019 at the request of the board. I presented an analysis of the 2018 budget results in February of 2019, which included an explanation of departmental level overages and underages, as well as revenue shortfalls and windfalls. The analysis stated that overall expenses and revenues were both under budget. But most important to me was that cash flows were successfully managed throughout the year to keep the county out of receivership. It was stated in the last meeting by Commissioner that he had extensively reviewed the 2018 budget results. It is also my understanding that other experts have reviewed it as well at his request. Now, I'm not sure about the credibility or the reliability of the information given to the Commission by these experts regarding the budget, but what I can say is that the one person that was not truly consulted was myself. During the regular monthly meeting in May, I was asked to talk to Commissioner McCreary and Commissioner Hickox about the budget. During the short meeting, I was asked not to explain any specific line item or departmental budget. The questions to me were of an accusatory nature and slanted toward a general narrative of budget compliance. Although I have extended several times my willingness to sit down with the newly elected commissioner and thoroughly discuss the budget, my concerns about the budget, as well as the circumstances surrounding how the budget was developed, a meeting of this nature has never taken place. In the June 10th called meeting, I was publicly accused of violating the Enabling Act of Wayne County as a result of correspondence that was presented to the commissioners at my request. This correspondence was solely to help me, or help give further explanation to the commissioners for the passage of the resolution that had been tabled for 2 months associated with the 2018 budget. This resolution in question was associated with accounting practices for governments that Wayne County adopted in 2013 that rebalances revenues and expenses and overages and underages. Although the wording of the correspondence may not have been my choice, in and of itself did not prove anything was done wrong or in violation of the Enabling Act. Furthermore, there was no effort to ask me to clarify the correspondence before attempts to reprimand me were underway. In addition, these accusations were before the audit report was even completed. Based on the comments made at the June 10th meeting, it is also my understanding that these statements were not based on decisions of the majority of the board, nor was there an official action of the board. I have to believe the two commissioners were sincere and wanted to help improve the financial condition of this county, and I respect and support their concerns about maintaining adherence to that budget, but it appears to me that the desire and predetermination of the two commissioners was to find punishment for me. I can only speculate about the intent of their actions, but whatever the intent, I find this methodology and these actions to be unjustified, disingenuous, unfounded, wrong-minded, and slanderous, not only on myself, on my position, but also myself personally. To this board, I fully understand and accept that I work at your pleasure. I've understood this premise since when I accepted the position as county administrator. You asked me to help, and I've worked tirelessly and to the best of my abilities to support and execute the vision and desires of this board. Further, I feel as though I've properly carried out the duties and the functions of the county administrator's position. After much consideration and consultation with my wife, my desire is to continue to work at the pleasure of this board and for this county until I cannot help further. Moving forward, if the will of the board is to change how any function or duty is performed, I will try to initiate these processes. But if the tone of this board is one of a constant divisive, accusatory, and disruptive nature, then I'm going to be severely hampered in successfully carrying out the essential functions and duties of your county administrator, and further helping this board reach their vision for this county. Mr. Chairman, that's all I have to say about this subject matter, and with all due respect, I need to excuse myself from this meeting. Thank you all.
And once again, that's what took place Monday night at the county commissioner meeting. That's how the meeting ended. Right after that, they adjourned.
So that was, once again, that was County Administrator Ed Jeffers speaking to the Board of Commissioners for Wayne County on Monday night at the regular scheduled meeting.
Basically voicing his displeasure on Kevin McCreary and Ralph Hickok's stand. So I said we're in the process of trying to line people up to the Butch and Bob Show. Again, we extend the invitation to anybody that's involved that wants to come. I've talked to several commissioners this week, and again, they're in the process of lining that up. So as soon as we get that lined up, we'll let people know when they plan to appear on the show.
Okay. And we'll have those Wayne County commissioners on to discuss their opinions and views on this situation going on with Wayne County and the Board of Commissioners and the county administrator.
And where it goes from here.
Yeah, where does it go from here?
It's anybody's guess.
Mm-hmm.
Still waiting to see the audit. Like I said, we're trying to get a hold of the audit in the process of trying to get that, but the audit, as they stated Monday night, has been sent to Atlanta, but has not been approved by Atlanta. So
every county in the state has to send their audit to the state, and then you got auditors up there that take a look at it to make sure the counties are being run, in a sense, the way they should be budget-wise. Okay.
And they check all those, like I said, all those different.
Here's your ordinances, here's your rules and regulations. Are they being followed?
Funds, all that stuff.
Are the funds being commingled? All this kind of stuff, right?
Exactly.
All right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what says. We just, for the citizens of Wayne County, let's just hope everything gets worked out. All right. And let's see here. It's 8:28. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. We are your Atlanta Braves radio station in Southeast Georgia. Braves 6 games up right now in the Eastern Division.
6 up on Washington, 6.5 on Philadelphia. But they got a series with both those teams this month of July. So at the end of July, it should be a good idea where the Braves are. So,
okay.
But hopefully they can continue to play well. I said it'd be interesting to see if they do make any deals. Some trade deadlines coming up shortly, so we'll see if the Braves are buyers, sellers, whatever. I said they got
a good relief pitcher.
That's what me and Jonathan keep talking about. I said they got a lot of talent in that farm system, so maybe they can make a deal and get shore up that bullpen just a little bit.
Yeah, shore that thing up.
But they're a fun team to watch, that's for sure.
Yeah. You got any plans to go up and see any game?
I'll see him, like I said, that next Saturday after the wedding. We're going to.
Oh, you're going over to
going to the game to watch them play Washington that night.
Well,
so.
good. Well, Braves Affiliates weekend is in September, so that's when I'll be going to see them there at SunTrust Park. Folks, if you haven't been to SunTrust Park and the Battery up there, you need to go. It is quite an experience. When they put that together, they put it together for folks to have fun before the game, after the game. Before in the other Turner Field, you had to pay to go into the museum area. All that's open there. You get to see history of baseball, Braves baseball. It's just it's the first park the Braves have played in since they've been in Atlanta that was specifically made for baseball, and you can tell it. I mean, you feel like you're sitting right there on the field.
Beautiful place.
Yeah. Well, Bob, wishing you a safe trip down there and seeing your dad, and say hello from all of us there to your dad, and have a good weekend, and see you back on Monday morning. All right, the world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Nips Car Wash. You got a dirty car, truck, or SUV, go to the all-brand-new, high-tech Nips Car Wash, automatic car wash, and self-service bays located on Highway 301 South here in Jesup, just past McDonald's there on the left-hand side, and by Murphy Builder Supply.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.